Happy New Year, people. I'm out here freezing and trying to get my Kubota to start. Not only is it a little less than 20, maybe 18, 19 degrees, but the old girl has an old battery, needs a new one. I was wanting to make a video a while back, but camera quit on me. And now it's come back, and I don't know what. It's like the power of magic or something. But what I wanted to make a video about was this. I've talked for many years about my grandpa's truck, and what you're looking at here is basically a pile of scrap metal. And although it's bad, it shall be revived at all cost. I made a promise to my mother, God rest her soul, she's been gone, next month will make 9 years, that I'd fix this truck. And I bought this cab for it many years ago because the original was, it was in a flood in the 70s when Dad had it. And when I started driving it as I guess I was a teenager, I was 18 or 19. The floors was really nice in it, but it'd been sitting for about 8 years. Dad had had a heart attack and wasn't able to drive it no more because of the lack of power steering, and it'd been sitting there all that time. And when I started driving it, within a matter of months, all my cab supports down here just went to crap, which could be fixed. But it broke loose literally at this seam here and went all the way across. And it just quite honestly wasn't nothing you could do for it. It was just too far gone. I mean, I found this cab not far from home. It had been originally a two-wheel drive truck, and then put on a F-350 chassis and was a wrecker for many years. And it was absolutely lovely in the floor. It was perfect. You can see the steps and stuff look good. There's ice sitting in it. Worst rust on it was here, which is a pretty common thing, I guess. I was going to find a new roof for it and use it, but that was, oh my goodness, probably 1997. And it sat in my dad's yard all this time. And, well, see what time does when you don't take care of stuff. She's rotting out too. Can I fix it? Yeah, I can fix it. Am I going to? No, I'm not going to. The reason being, this is, as I said, it's my grandpa's truck, and I want it right. I don't want to do this and then 5 years later have to do this again. When I pulled it out of the yard, one of the mainsprings actually snapped. That's why it's sitting so cockeyed. And I'm kind of glad it did, because it was so rusty at the center bolt, it would have snapped going down the road. And I guess that's from sitting, I don't know. It's sitting in the driveway on gravel most of that time, but that don't mean anything, of course. But the bed is good. You know, there's a few little things to repair, like, little minor stuff like this. I can fix that. Tailgate's pretty rough, but I might find a better one or buy a new one. They're awful expensive. Steps are back here, and they're actually still in real good shape. That's the original driver's door. I don't know if I'm going to use it yet. I saved it because it has the VIN tag on it. But I got a good straight rear bumper, and unfortunately this isn't the original bed. This is the exact kind that came on it, spare on the side and all that. But let me give you a little history. I went all these years and really haven't mentioned this truck. My dad got this truck from one of my uncles. I believe he said 1975. I was born 74. I don't remember it ever not being ours. But as I mentioned, it was bought brand new by my grandpa September of '63. And the only reason he let it go was in September of '73, he bought a new F-100. Maybe a 150, but I think it was a 100. It was a 302 long bed truck, 3-speed on the call. Two-wheel drive. But It was first sold to his son, one of my other uncles, who's gone now, God rest his soul, good man. He rode it for a little while, then my second uncle owned it. And when he got it, he was a miner, as all my family were. He took the original step-side bed off because it just didn't have the hauling capacity he wanted, because he was making, trying to make ends meet by selling coal on the side and delivering it, and he used that truck to do that. So in order to haul more, he put a 60 model fleet side bed on it. And it looked like a lot of those trucks that came that way, but it wasn't one. But that bed was on it when my dad had it when I was a kid with an ugly camper top. And when I was 5 years old, it was sitting behind our barn in Kentucky where we lived. I come home one day, and Dad was laid off from, he was laid off because of a strike or something. And had nothing better to do. He owned his own coal truck. But he knew he was going to be off for at least a couple of weeks, and he drug that truck out. He would get out and drive it around the yard once a year or so, but he quit riding it just because, well, it was old and wore out. But he took a notion, he drug it out from behind the barn, and he worked for, really, I'd say he put 3 or 4 good months into it. He kept every receipt. It took him a little bit under $1,000 to put it back on the road. I'm going around in circles. And he rode it up until he couldn't no more. He rode it until 88, and that was in 1979 or 80. So he found that bed, belonged to a friend of his across the road who would buy wrecked cars and sell parts off from them. And that come off a 68. But it was in good shape. He had to find fenders, which I've since replaced. These are the fenders. Passenger side, driver's side, with the dip. You can't even buy that new anymore. Most people don't like that, but I think it rocks. I really like it. And both of those are in really good shape. These are the front fenders for my blue truck, obviously. And I just sprayed paint on these to keep from rusting out, stripped to the metal. I have one perfect front fender for that truck and one that I can make perfect. It's not rusty, it's just got a couple little ripples in it. And the doors on the 65 in the field that you've seen are serviceable if I don't find better ones. And the hood is somewhat serviceable, but I'd like to find a better hood, but I got to have a cab. So I might make another video here in a little bit. We got to get old Kubota going here. But if any of you guys out there know where a good cab is within driving distance from Southwest Virginia, and by driving distance I mean Ohio, Pennsylvania, you know, I don't care to drive 5 hours one way. That's okay. I'll do that for the right part and the right price. Give me a yeah. See you later, guys.